Hi everyone, it's Diane Brennan. Welcome to my channel. Today, I felt this was a great day. This is Independence Day in the United States of America, the 4th of July. 2026 marks the 250th anniversary of our country's independence from the tyranny of the rule of England over us. And it's interesting because I feel like today we are entering into a different type of enslavement and welcoming tyranny into our lives. Just stepping right on in willingly, opening the door wide, saying, sure, go ahead. So it just felt like the right day to talk about this. And if we are losing our humanity today. And I'm bringing this up because it seems like this discussion is everywhere. My friends are talking about it. It's all over YouTube. I just listened to a video by Philip Cargom. He is a psychiatrist. He was for years the chosen chief of the OBOD, the Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids. He and his wife Stephanie produced the Druid Craft Tarot, the Druid Plant Animal, Druid Oracle, Druid Plant Oracle, Animal Oracle, Plant Oracle. He's written several books on Druidry. He's a very intelligent, astute man who, like me, has lived through all of these changing times encompassing, the 60s, 70s, 80s, into this new age of technology that started in the 90s, the 20-aughts, etc. And and then data centers. I've got one coming into my town because we live on a river. And there's an old industrial site that's going to get converted into a data center, or at least that's being proposed for it. As far as I know, it's happening. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. They kind of keep this stuff secret. And so I thought today was a great day to talk about all of that, about AI and how this is kind of overtaking our humanity. I mean, my mother commented on the fact that she would see kids, and this is in New Hampshire, okay, which is very rural and it tends to be a very conservative, conventional, traditional place, but we get a bunch of tourists from Boston, New York City, cities in New Jersey, etc. Like all over the country, comes to New Hampshire. And, so you'd see teenagers walking down the sidewalks in groups, and they're texting each other. They're not talking to each other. They're texting with each other, okay? This is how they communicate now. I have read how kids today, they go out on a date, they put their phones down on the table in between them, and they don't know how to talk to each other because they're not texting on a device. It's sad. And that communication is part of humanity, in case you're wondering how that ties in. This ability to communicate, that is part of what innately makes us human. And losing that ability, thinking, our ability to think and to create, and people are turning that over now to AI bots, to ChatGPT and all of that. I'm going to tell you right up front, I do not have a single AI account. The only AI that I end up using is when I do Google searches and YouTube searches. And not because I want to, but because I've tried turning that off. And if you do that, like later, if you go to kind of try to find relevant information or find that search again, you're starting from scratch. That the history of that is gone. So that's the only AI that I use at all. I do nothing with AI. So all of my logos, banners, my website, this is all my creation as a human being. My videos are not scripted. AI is not writing them for me. This is coming from me, from my head, my heart, my experience. Sometimes my intuition, my guides, however it comes, but it's coming from me. This is not ChatGPT or Grok or any of that stuff. It's Diane Brennan. That's where everything I do comes from, because I'm still a human. But they're integrating things. I mean, like, back in 2020, they made everybody get these shots, or they tried to make everybody. There were a bunch of us that did not get them. Who knows what they put in you if you got that thing? And some people got forced to because they wanted to keep their job, and I get that. My baby sister was one of those. But do you really know what they put in you? It was an experimental drug. It's never been revealed everything that's in it. It's been revealed that they did know the side effects were horrid. They knew everything it was going to cause, the cancer, the disease, the miscarriages, the infertility. They knew all of this. It was intentional. Anyway, that's another subject for another day. But what other like nanobots or anything got put in you? Do you know? Any other injections you get today? Do you know what's going into your body? Without your knowledge, without your consent, the tracking constantly, they track us everywhere now. Street lights, I don't know about the rest of the world, but here in the United States, in a lot of cities and towns, the street lights, not the traffic lights. The traffic lights have cameras. There's like cameras everywhere. So we're being tracked, we're being recorded. Satellites are overhead by the gazillions now in the sky. Watch on a sky thing sometime that shows you what's flying over you, and you will be amazed at how many satellites are crossing up above you. And tracking your movements. It's for safety. It's so that, if anything happens, you can use this wonderful device to, have them be able to locate you, which, okay, yeah, it's got some good. But it also allows them to track your every movement, especially if you have location settings on. If you're using Siri or you're using your map program to go places, you have to have that on. You don't know who's tracking you. And I just saw a video about a software company named Polaris and the lawsuit against them because of just how nefarious this is, what they're doing with all of your data and everything. But also it talked in there, they talked about like integrating humans into computers and robots. Like this is coming, where we're going to become extinct because we're going to get integrated into robots. Now there are measures being put in place to stop this, and I hope they're enough, but losing our ability to communicate, losing our ability to create. There are, and I get it, there are lonely people out there who have created a friend out of something like ChatGPT. They talk to it, it talks back, it acts like it cares. You can program it to do all of that, but it's not the same as an interaction with another human being who genuinely does care. Philip Cargom said this well. He said, when I'm sitting down across from a person and I sense and feel into your energy, I can feel you. I can feel your energy. I can feel your presence. I can feel, your humanity, your yourself, your essence. I can't do that with a robot or Chat GPT or a computer. There's nothing there. So while Chat GPT might feel like you've created a friend, the reality is you haven't. You may as well talk to the empty air. Basically what you're doing. People today, instead of creating their own art, are putting an idea, however you do this, because again, I have never done it. I have no idea. All right, I just see the results. I mean, I have a friend who just created an absolutely stunning logo, but you can tell it's AI because a human can't create that. The image is too crisp, too clear. And so there's something missing there. I mean, it's a beautiful logo, but there's something missing. And it's that human touch of a human design, human artwork, even if it's digital collage. I mean, that's all of my logos are digital collage, but they're done in Canva. They're not done, and I don't use Canva's AI. I do it myself. And I manipulate colors and I do everything, and I have fun doing that, by the way. It can be a lot of fun. I can't draw a stick person and have it really like look much like much. You can tell it's a stick person, I'll put it that way. I can't draw very much. But I can do digital collage like a mad woman, all right? I'm very creative that way. And I'm grateful for that kind of technology. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't think all technology is evil. What I think is there are people who are twisting it and using it for evil. And we have to be very, very careful of this. We have to watch for this. We have to stand out against this. And we have to make sure that we don't give up those things that make us human. Those things that make us human are our ability to think and to create, to write our own things. And they say the best way to do that is not to type it on a computer, but to actually like use cursive writing and pen and paper, or pencil and paper, but pen and paper, and write things out. So like journaling is important. You really want to process through something. Don't type it out on any program on the computer. Write it down in a journal. And I love these with like the really good paper. Anyway, write it down, because that opens up that creative channel and flow that makes you human. Art. No, I'm no artist, but there's other ways. Find your way. I cross stitch, and I might be following a pattern there, but it's still art. Whether you sew, you draw, you play an instrument, you sing, you dance, create. Don't let AI do it for you, because then you're giving up a vital part of yourself. And in today's world, as we move further and further and further along the road of technology, I feel it's extremely important we maintain everything we can that keeps us human and keeps us free thinking, independent, sovereign. We can't fight government today like our ancestors did, because giving up creature comforts. You know, back then they didn't have this reliance on this electrical grid like we do, and on computers and technology. They didn't have smartphones, didn't have phones at all, right? They didn't rely on creature comforts like we do. I mean, like right now in this extreme heat, I need air conditioning. How did everybody survive before this? Well, I've been watching some videos done by the Amish because if the grid ever goes down, I'm going to need to know this stuff. um, and learned about hanging wet towels and curtains in front of, and sheets, wet sheets mainly, in front of your windows to let the air cool your rooms down, by the way. That's how they do it. That's how they did it back in the day. One of the big ways. Uh, you know, what are we going to do if the grid goes down? How are we going to survive today? Because we're so reliant on grocery stores and on technology and that electrical grid. The solar flares we're having, if those knock it out, we're in trouble. Anyway, that's a digression as well, and I can go into that more on another day. But we can't live without this stuff to be able to fight against it now. Not en masse like our forefathers could here in the United States back in the 1700s and early 1800s when they didn't have all of this, right? So we are losing our independence. We are becoming slaves. And we are falling prey to tyranny. And we are doing it totally willingly. So it's time for us to start becoming more independent, to start fighting against this, to start figuring out ways to break free. There are people ditching their smartphones and going back to things like Motorola Razors and other flip phones. But there's hacks you have to know how to do in order to make it work, and you have to have a 2G system available in your area because those don't work on 5G. But 5G is poisonous and cancerous. You know, what are we doing to ourselves, people? And on that note, I wish you much love, much light, many, many blessings, and to all my fellow Americans, happy Independence Day. Start thinking about what that really means. Peace out.